as you look through the amount of diesel that's been taken, the amount of cars that's been taken, this turned out to be quite a big operation. So Petrol Headlands over the last 18 months, our YouTube channel, which isn't our first and foremost principal activity, grew over the story of the stolen Lamborghini Diablo, which has been featured on VINwiki. But we picked up on a story about stolen Minis in December 2023. And a friend of ours, Sam of UK Minis, put out on his social media. And as we all did, we all shared it out to bring a spotlight to the fact these 4 Minis have been stolen from a barn in Doncaster. Now, it wasn't just 4 classic, special, perfect Minis. They also took engines from Cooper S's to 20 sets of wheels. They literally raided his barn. So when I saw this, I reached out to Sam and said, look, we need to do something. We've proven the power of social media does work. Can we come up? Can we do a YouTube video with you? You've got a big following. Everybody in the mini scene in the UK knows you. What he literally does, his business, and it started out of COVID as a hobby. He literally runs a competition page every week for people to win a mini. But his minis are pristine. His minis are well built. They're restored. He will not pick a substandard mini. They have to be great. So at any one time, I think he owns 35 minis himself. So he is kind of like the UK mini man, and he's got a great personality, and we've become good friends over the period of doing this search and putting it out to social media. We spoke regularly, but we went up there and Scoot and I walked through the process with him of what happened that fateful night. And in the middle of the night, the barn, which he'd only just moved into, he'd been there 2 weeks, all his cars were there, and the sets of wheels and the parts were all in this barn, had been broken into. The whole place had been raided. But this happened between the hours of like 1:30 and 5:30 in the morning. And people live on the farm on site as well. So we worked through the whole scenario with him. We put together a appeal video, which has had a great response. But although it had a great response with views and people sharing it and people trying to help with ideas or theories, we didn't really make any progress. Now, the area is what we'd say in the UK, in the middle of nowhere. It's very accessible from the A1, a main route past Doncaster. So if you'd stolen something, you could be on the A1 and within half an hour be anywhere, north or south of that area. There were indications that they had broken through the gate to steal diesel from the 2 diesel tanks. And that was the theory, that then while they were filling the diesel tanks, they then went on walkabout and broke into the barns to see if there was anything special in the barns. And that's when they made their way into the main barn. There's 3 or 4 bays, deep bays, and it's in the 4th bay. So they would have had to look in the 1st bay where there were some lorries, the 2nd bay where there were a couple of cars and a trailer, 3rd bay, and the 4th bay is the area which Sam had everything stored, and the cars all lined up nice and the wheels all stacked nicely. They've taken a trailer from the 3rd bay, but as you look through the amount of diesel that's been taken, the amount of cars that's been taken, this turned out to be quite a big operation, which if they'd gone in for the diesel and then come across the cars, to pull that together so quickly and clear out so much had to be some form of organised operation. So the theories were that they were always going for the minis and the diesel was the bonus, and other theories were the diesel was the main target and everything else was bonus. But when we looked at the amount of movement that had to have taken place, it meant that it must have been local. Because if they were coming and going and being able to do that quickly and before sunlight, it must have been local. So we were looking at a half-hour radius, potentially. We put the video out, great response. Sam and I kept in touch. We had different messages coming through, and we had... When I say theories, there's always going to be local scallywags that people pinpoint. It's got to be him, or it's got to be him. And I think from a professional point of view, we're not the police. We have to, take things at face value. Fortunately for us, the gentleman that lived on site was an ex-policeman, So we had good link with the police, and Sam worked closely with the police with any intel that we received, but also they had intel as well. Everybody out there on my channel is waiting for an update video, and we've not done one because I knew I was coming here today. This is the update video effectively. We had nothing for about a month, literally nothing. And then about 6 weeks after, we're thinking, shall we go up and do another video just to kind of reignite it, something. And it was a Saturday afternoon, and I was driving back from an event with Scoop, my videographer, and we get a phone call. And it was my number that had been put into the blurb on the video. And the gentleman asked for Sam. And I was like, sorry, Sam, this is Ciro. So what are you looking for? I've got some information about the stolen minis, but I will only speak to Sam if I meet up with him. I was like, okay, I'm Ciro. I'm the one that put the video out there, and I'm in the video. But how can I help? Because I'm not just going to give Sam's number out, but I can have Sam call you. He explained that he'd been in the pub and somebody had shown him a photo of a Mini on a forklift being delivered into a barn. He'd literally just seen our video 6 weeks later, and it triggered the memory of someone showing him a picture of a forklift driving a car, a Mini, into a barn. It's like, okay, I think you need to speak to Sam. So they speak, Sam and them speak, and then Sam calls me excitedly. I'm going to meet this guy on Monday. I can't really say much else at the moment, but it sounds like he's just come across your video, and when he's watched the video, he remembered that the day after the cars had been stolen, a farmer was in his farm ploughing the field, and in the distance he saw a forklift with a Mini pulling it into a barn. And now, because a couple of cars were immobilised or didn't have batteries, they had to be moved in that fashion. This gentleman had a photo he'd shown the older gentleman at the end of December in the pub. This guy's seen the video 6 weeks later and made the call. And we were like, wow, the power of social media really does work. It was absolutely astonishing. We were blown away. These guys have met up, they've spoken, the intel goes back to the police, and arrangements are made to raid the barn. It took 10 days to arrange to raid the barn. The address of the barn, the owners of the barn, everything, all the intel was there, all the information was there, and photographic evidence of the Mini on a forklift going into the barn. When they raided the barn, we found 2 Minis. Their property was linked to another property, and when we retrieved these 2 Minis, we said nothing, and we couldn't say anything because the other Minis could have been in the other barn. Some wheels, some engine parts were also found, so we knew we'd got a major haul back, and it was all due to this gentleman seeing our video. It took 3 weeks to raid the other barn, and the frustration of the fact that it took 3 weeks. We'd lost hope of finding anything else, because if you had stolen this hoard and 2 Minis have been retrieved from your hoard, then you're going to go clear out wherever else you've hidden them. 3 weeks to raid this other barn, and unbelievable, we found a 3rd Mini and more parts, and they were retrieved into forensic testing, etc. It then transpired, because we were all scratching our heads as to how come the 2nd barn hadn't been emptied, how come we've got everything back. It then transpired that the person who was the main suspect, whose name is linked to these properties, had unfortunately suffered a head-on collision on his quad bike in mid-January. Clearly from mid-January, although we were static with our investigation, nothing happened with the stolen Minis or the stolen hoard of parts at all, even when the 1st barn had been raided and then the 2nd barn raided, and we still don't know whether the guy's in a coma, whether he's come back, or whether unfortunately he's passed away. But all we know is we retrieved 3 out of the 4 Minis. The 4th one could still come along. We live in hope, and hopefully this video will help if anybody's seen the 4th Mini. But some of the parts, some of the engines, 3 Minis out of the 4 have been retrieved. And again, it's all back to the power of social media. Thank you.
Over the last 4 years, we've partnered with Glossit to show off some of their amazing detailing products, give you some great deals, and show how much they can transform any car. But did you know that Glossit University is also one of the most amazing online resources for education, mentorship, and coaching for whatever your business is in the detailing space? Whether you do paint correction, ceramic coating, PPF, wraps, anything like that, they can take your business to the next level. And right now, they're offering free 15-minute phone consultations where you can schedule at the link link in the description below. Tell them about your goals, tell them about your business, about yourself, and really where you want to get to, and they'll show you if they're online courses, they're in-person classes, where I'll actually be in their August class, or their one-on-one or group mentorship programs with Rich Light from Glossit. It's an awesome way to take your business to that next level. So set up your phone consultation now, talk to them about where you're at today, and they'll tell you where you could be tomorrow.